Welcome to a place where the mysterious becomes the unforgettable. This metaphysical journey explores hauntings, UFOs, extraterrestrials, cryptozoology, and everything the paranormal world has to offer. Each week, guests from around the globe share their expertise, experiences, and mind-bending encounters. This is the Paranormal Voice.
Welcome back. It is a Sunday night. It is 8 o'clock, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the TPV Nation to rise and shine above all. But right now, before we kick off an amazing show that I have planned for you tonight, my guests waiting backstage. Just got a few things going on right now. First and foremost, I know this is totally off topic, out of the way, and all that, but right now, I just want to send all my prayers out to all the first responders, all the people who are being affected by this wildfire uh, up in northern Ontario, far, far away from me. But my heart and my thoughts are with everybody that is up there. So please, everybody, please just take a moment and say a prayer for these guys. Like, there is over the last numbers I read, it was well over 3,000 firefighters that are out there that are fighting this fire and putting their lives on the line. Communities that are being destroyed, the First Nations of our people, they're being pushed out of their homes, being evacuated. It is just absolutely mind-boggling to see what is happening up there. So my heart and my thoughts and prayers go to everybody that is living up that way. Please be safe and pray for these people that they get out safely. And for those who lost their lives during this, my prayers go to your families. So please, just anybody who can. Just take a moment and say a prayer for these people because, like I said, I can never imagine. I know we all had to go through this haze, this fog, this waking up to smell like you're camping. I know it wasn't pleasant, but just imagine what these people are going through right now and having to sleep, wherever they possibly can, because they are very rural communities that are being destroyed right now. So that is going to be that. And like I said, my prayers and my thought are for everybody, first responders, everybody out there that are helping fight these fires. Pray that they're safety and they get to go home to their families. So, with that being said, let's move on to just a few other things before I bring up my guests. First and foremost, we are coming closer and closer. August 15th, it is going to be Ascension Con is coming your way. I am, of course, gracious enough to be one of the speakers that are going to be there that weekend. I hope everybody and anybody has circled it on their calendars. Hope everybody can make it out there. This is going to be one truly amazing event. We are going to be talking a little bit more. I have one of the organizers, Marion Bass, said she's going to be coming on the show to talk about Ascension Con, everything that's gone into Ascension Con, what Ascension Con is all about. It is about a life-changing experience. It's about leveling it up. It's about experiencing who you are. And everybody who's coming out to speak this week, that very weekend, truly amazing people, and I can't wait. So yeah, August 15th. There it is. It's at Carlton Park in Hastings, Michigan. The speaking portion of it is absolutely free. So if you just want to come down, see some pretty amazing speakers, you get to do that all free of charge. But there are a few other events that are attached to this. Of course, coming up Friday, August 14th, they are having a VIP Galactic Murder Mystery Dinner. Those tickets are on sale. And then, of course, there's gallery readings with Dana Stricker, truly amazing lady. I can't wait to see her. And then we have the DNA activation with Deb DeRoos and, of course, Mama Mary. Those tickets are on sale right now. And there is a Bigfoot hunt that's going on that Saturday night. Of course, that's going to take with Ronnie LeBlanc, the She Squatchers, Jason Kenzie, and of course, RJ DeRoos. So, guys, all those tickets are for sale at mamamarythesacredcode.com. So please go over there, plan your weekend. It is coming up very soon. I mean, we are probably about 3 weeks away, 3 or 4 weeks away. I don't have it all in my mind, but right there, that's what it's all about. Ascension Con, come on down, check it out. It's going to be an amazing weekend. So, with that being said, right now, I'd like to welcome out my guest tonight, and I guess this is truly an opportunity for everybody who's out there listening and watching right now live, because this is going to be an opportunity that you're going to experience something that is truly mind boggling. And you've seen my guest before. He's a regular on the show. I love having him on here each and every time I get the chance to have him on, because I'll tell you, to watch who my guest has grown into, like, it's hard to believe. Like, we just met my guest tonight. I mean, forever ago, it feels like in my mind, because he's just one of those people that you meet, and then all of a sudden, it's just, you become really close friends, and then you just never know what your life was like without them in there. But when I first met him, shy, just coming into who he was, trying to discover his life, his path, and where he was going, to seeing him now. I mean, he's a regular guest on one of our favorite programs, which is Voices of Contact, which airs every Tuesday live at 3 p.m. and then replays once again every Friday night at 8 p.m. So, without further ado, let's bring out my guest right now, the one, the only, Mark Herzog. Come on. Why is it not letting me? Hello, there you are. I was like, uh
Hi.
oh, the aliens are already messing with us.
Yeah, they already took me.
They're like, no, he's talking again. Mark, it's so good to see you. I love having you on the show. What you share with us each and every time you come on the show is truly amazing, and the opportunity to do what you're doing here today is absolutely it's hard to put in words what we're about to witness. It's about channeling. So before we get into this and what's about to happen, first of all, explain to our audience what channeling is, and when did you find that you were able to channel?
So I just learned that I was a channeler, I think a couple of years ago when I was doing regression work with Mary. So back to what you were saying, when you guys first met me, you and Mike, I want to say it was 3 years ago was when we met. I want to say, but I might be wrong. Because like you said, it's just time. What's time lately?
Yeah,
um,
yeah, really, it doesn't really mean anything, truly.
I know, right? Um, yeah, so I started talking with when I started talking with Mary, and she was like helping me with my regression work. She she really sensed too. She was like, "You like I really feel that you're like a channeler. You know, like you are like because when I was going under my regressions, um, it wasn't my subconscious that was coming through. It was like I mean it started coming through, but then all of a sudden this ET being, which is the one that took me, uh, starts coming through, and he just comes through and likes to just kind of come in whenever he feels, and we'll just start taking, he'll take stage and start talking to Mary when I'm under a regression. That's how it started. And she was like, you gotta, like she was telling me like, if you're gonna channel, she goes, you should like try and channel him. So I'm like, well, how do I do that? So I had to figure that out. So I took time. I kind of went like MIA. I kind of took a lot of time into like trying to like practice and try to understand what it's mainly all about. And going through regression work with Mary really helped tremendously. Reason for is because now I think it was like my last puzzle piece that I kind of needed because to come full circle, I have a lot of abilities and I've always had lots of abilities. I've always been that person where I always wanted to dabble in whatever spirituality had to offer. So I wanted to learn a little bit of everything, but I was never a master at any. So when I started doing channeling, I was like, well, how do I do this? So and it took me like a good year to like finally come to because I was getting a lot of my abilities mixed up. Not really knowing like where the information's coming from, why the info was coming in during that moment. I was just overthinking. I was trying so hard and it was just a hot mess until one day it just clicked. And I was like, why not just act like I'm like I'm in a regression?
Right.
Maybe if I put myself in a nice, good, like a very deep meditated state, similar to when you go under regression and you're in a hypnosis state and you're relaxed, I was like, why not do something like that? So that's what I did. And he came through. And then I kind of got that click where now I know how to connect to him. Right. So then I started being more verbal. I started communicating with him a lot more. And got into the groove of things. So now whenever I do channel, I can just close my eyes and within like 30 seconds ish, I can just bring him right in and he comes through.
So you said this, you were able to capture what you're able to do now through regression work. And yeah, truly, Mary is a truly amazing in what she's able to help people do in a regression. It's absolutely mind-boggling and how that all works. So can you remember the first time you actually channeled your galactic friend?
Yes, that was when I was in a regression with Mary. That was my very first time that he came through. But for me, channeling him, just him and I, and nobody else around. It was about, I want to say 2 years ago.
Wow.
That was my first time like channeling him, like just him and I, where it was just him and I talking to ourselves, and it was more telepathic. So I was under a meditated state. I didn't have to like open my eye, or I didn't have to like open my mouth and talk out loud. Right. It was just him and I talking and communicating. Now the first time that I got to channel him in front of others was when I was with Mary, and we did like a little, like I was kind of practicing with her and he came through, and that was like, okay, now I got it. Like I get it now. Right. Okay. So, but yeah, I've been kind of doing the channeling off and on for the last like year. And now I think a couple months ago, it really kicked into overdrive. Like I practice a lot. I'm constantly in dialogue all the time, every day of my life. I'm in dialogue with like my spirit team, my guardians, anything or anyone that's like working with me in this physical. Like I'm always in dialogue with them all the time.
So does he come through when you're not channeling him? Like if he has something to relay to you, has a message, can he just come through on his own without you actually sitting down and getting yourself into a meditative state?
Sometimes, yeah. And that usually happens just out of the blue. So like, for example, a lot of the times that he'll do that is like when I'm at work. and I'm in this repetitious, doing the same thing all day. When I'm in that state, and I just kind of put myself on a physical autopilot, so I'm just doing my thing every day. While I'm in that, mentally, I'm not really there.
Right.
So that's usually when I'm listening to things and my mind's just kind of like going into whatever I'm listening to, whatever, if it's a podcast or if it's music or if it's an audiobook or whatever. And once in a while, I can hear his voice kind of come through. And when he comes through, he'll just give me a message, regardless if they're words or if it's an imagery. He does a lot of imagery a lot of times. So like it's almost like he's showing me a video, like a video clip, and it's just playing and there's a lot of things happening, but he's not speaking while he's showing me everything. Okay. So when he starts talking is when I start asking questions on what I'm seeing. And that's usually how my channeling works. So my channeling, when you are talking to me and asking questions, he's giving me a visual of everything that you are talking to him about. Okay. He's talking through me to you, like he's talking to you. But me, while I'm in the back seat, I'm seeing all the visual of what he's talking about. So when I come back into when I come back and I'm no longer channeling, I remember all the visualization and I might remember little bits and pieces of like what was questioned, but I'm not going to remember a lot of it. Sometimes I need to go over it to like kind of connect the dots on like what I talked about. But that's pretty much how the channeling works while I'm doing so.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, before I let you bring Zeek out for us to talk to and to ask questions, so anybody who's watching live right now, think of a question, and as soon as Zeek comes out, and you're going to be able to post the questions on the side, I will ask Zeek, and he's going to answer these questions live and for us to the best of his ability. And I would take it that Zeke is very intelligent, so he's going to give us it in his way of the way he talks, which we are going to be very excited about. Before I let you do that, though, I've got one question to ask you before we bring out Zeke, which is, have you seen Disclosure Day?
Yes, I have.
I need to get your thoughts on it because we're going to ask Zeke what he thinks, but I'd like to get your thoughts on it because you could probably relate to that movie more than most of us can ever imagine. Because when I was watching the movie, you were on my mind that whole time.
So when I seen the movie, I cried. I cried quite a lot, actually. It was a very validating experience. Very validating. Like there's a lot of parts that was happening that I totally understand. Like, without giving any spoilers, giving anything away. But like the main character, like the two main characters that were kind of like on a run in a sense. That's all I can really say. But I've had a lot of validating experiences through that movie on things that they have done. And it's really weird because like when I was watching the movie, I was feeling a lot of validation, but I also know that it had nothing to do with validation. It had to do with knowing the fact that we are the disclosure.
Right.
And that was like, even though we hear it all the time, even though we kind of know, just watching a movie like that, it was a really good experience to be like, wow, like, yeah, how validating was that answer? We are the disclosure. So,
right. And I'll tell you, yeah, by the end of the movie, I was crying myself. It was like a release. It truly was. It was like, wow, the world gets to see something that I've been close to for so long.
Hmm.
So it was truly amazing. And for those who have not seen the movie yet, I still highly suggest you check it out. I don't know if it's still in movie theaters, but I'm sure it's about to be ready to be released on some type of streaming service really, really soon. So with that being said, wow, I'm getting excited here. This is like Christmas morning's about to come. So Mark, you so how I mean before I let you do this, how am I gonna know when Zeke is here? Because I'm still going to physically see you, but
Right.
I'm about to talk to somebody I've been so excited to talk to so long. It's like a kid waiting to talk to Santa Claus.
Well, I basically what I do is I put myself like I close my eyes. I'm my eyes are closed the whole time I'm channeling.
Right.
And what Zeke would do, since he's already got my intent and knows that I'm going to connect with him, like he's already kind of present right now. So he's just pretty much waiting for me to get out of the way. So
He's like, hurry up,
it's
I want
like,
to talk.
yeah, like he's ready to just jump in. So it's like when as soon as I close my eyes and I'll just take a couple breaths and I try to relax and get myself in a very like very comfortable and deep state in a sense. He usually just clicks when the vibration's right.
Okay.
So that's why I said sometimes it takes me like 10, 15 seconds. Sometimes it takes me 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I don't know. They're usually around that. And just a couple breaths, and he just clicks and comes through. And usually when he comes through, he'll say hello. So,
All right. Well, Mark, I'm going to let you do what you need to do in any way you need to do it. If you need to
all
turn
right.
off your microphone, if you need just to do a little bit of silence, do you need me to be quiet or can I just
It don't
continuously
matter.
talk?
You can talk. I'll just keep my eyes closed, and then when you are ready and you go silent, he might just jump right in when you're available to keep going.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, TPV Nation, are you ready for this? This is a breakthrough moment for us here at the TPV Nation. I've been waiting to do this. I have seen Mark do this on several other shows. So yeah, let's. So anybody in the comments who would love to ask any questions, so please feel free. I'm going to just go quiet, and then when Zeke is ready, we are going to allow Zeke to come through.
Good evening.
Zeke,
Good evening.
Zeke, thank you for coming. This is such an honor to have this opportunity to speak with you and my audience. It's could you first of all explain like where you are from?
We are from a few galaxies nearby, a galaxy that you all know as Orion. We are in a constellation near that star constellation. As of right now, that's where I am. Usually, I am everywhere in the galaxy. The planet that I was from was destroyed, is no longer there. But my home is wherever my heart takes me. I have a crew, and we have many places to go. All the time, we are around helping and making sure the galaxy is a better place from where we have found it.
Now, Zeke, if I can ask just one question here, what is the greatest discovery of your civilization that has been made about the universe?
Our civilization, a long time ago when I was on my planet, we were known for having lots of minerals, but as well as a lot of technology. Our technology during that time was around your technology of where you are now. Now, at that period when I was living on my planet, we were at a really high probable place of vibration, of high vibration of where we were going to create a really beautiful name for ourselves. My race came from a very loyal background. Many of my brothers and sisters, we all came from loyal blood. Our blood was very, very royal. We had lots of high rank. We had a lot of high ranked beings on our planet. We stayed on our planet for a short period once another form of reptilians came. They were the Draco. The Draco, when they came on our planet, they seeked our material. They took a lot of our materials and technology, destroyed many of our people. But when they destroyed our people, they were mainly there to take everything that was there and to destroy the planet. When they took a lot of my people and used them as slaves. Many people were lost. They were enslaved and taken to many places of many other galaxies. Some of my people are even now part of the Draco. Me and some of my people that we left and scattered across the galaxies. For a while, we needed to find places to stay, places that were safe. We didn't have very much, but we survived. When we were trying to find a place to stay, we came across a civilization that worked together with very high-ranking officers. In your words, we're trying to find words that would match what we would like to share. But to compare with words, it was some form of a galactic civilization that all helps the galaxy in ways to make sure that those survive and those come to their lives to live the way that they see fit. We go around the galaxies and help these individuals. Some people on your Earth are part of this. They may not be part of it in that physical life, but they are part of it in another. Mark is just one of them as well. So that's why we work very well with him in many lives. We are there specifically just to help those that are on Earth, because where you are going, there's going to be a very high vibrational change, a change where things are going to evolve in a very quick pace. But in order to be able to be ready, we must be able to help those that we help to raise their frequency and vibration to where it's needed. Our planet did it once before it was destroyed. Many other planets that we've helped have been able to conquer this. But this is the first time that we are actually helping a civilization as large as it is to make this leap, to make this change. So that is why we travel the galaxies to help others, not just humans, but other life forms, other beings that are out there. We help a lot in order to be able to help this higher vibration to come through. This isn't just an Earth situation. This affects many thousands upon millions of other planets that are out there. This high vibration echoes and ripples through all of your galaxy. So the change that you make there on your Earth will make a change and a shift among everyone. But as you have to also remember, the ripple effect does not just happen where you are, it happens through all different dimensions. As our dimensions are now bleeding through into yours, since you are raising your vibration and frequency in order for your physical body to be able to see us, hear us, we are trying to be more cautious and careful on how much we help. We are trying to set everybody up with a higher vibrational frequency in order for them to finish their life lessons, to finish their karma, to finish timelines that they no longer need, to let go of things, old programs, to be able to bring in new programs once we make this leap. Once we do make this leap, there's going to be a lot of learning, but also there's going to be a lot of distortion. A lot of people will be very confused because they are going to be jumping into a frequency of new learning, a new way of life, a new way of actually growing and prospering, not just as an individual, but also as a collective. So right now, we are at a critical time on being able to help not just Earth, but many others. We are right now in the Orion constellation. Why we are here is because we had to come back to the very beginning from once it started. We had to come here and fix a few things here in order to be able to help the frequency and vibration to travel and ripple through into where Earth is. There are many different portals and connections from where we are to where you are right now. And soon enough, you will find that out and learn more about those portals as time goes on through disclosure.
Now, Zeke, thank you so much, and we do appreciate everything that you're doing for the not only the galactic community but for us here on Earth. So when we talk about Disclosure Day coming to us and Ascension is coming, what is the first thing that you would like to let us know to prepare ourselves for what's about to happen?
Since this is a very complex conversation, let's try to break it down in a few ways. The first way for ascension, in order to be able to have your own individual ascension, is to let go of old programs and bring in new. We are right now at a time where if we are to choose as a collective or as an individual, if you are to choose to move into a higher frequency, then that means that you have to start letting go of the old programs, the weight that is holding you back from raising yourself to a higher frequency. In order to do that, you have to start learning and understanding who you are, who your true self is. By doing so is to face all of the things that you no longer wanted to face, the parts of you that people are afraid to show, the people that are afraid to see what's within, their triggers, all of the flaws in which you may look at it as. Even though it's not a flaw, but those triggers when you get upset or when you have a lower vibration. Any lower vibrational emotion that comes up would be more or less a trigger, even though a trigger is sometimes good things and beautiful things too. But to study and to make sure that the negative is more balanced. When you get upset with something, ask yourself, why are you upset? There's probably an old program within you that you've held on for probably the time since you were a really little kid. Moving on and growing up, molding yourself to being a person due to the old programs that you had. It could have been an easy program, such as an example, being able to go to school and someone telling you that you were not good enough. That might have caused you or made you mold yourself into a person to protect you from those that would maybe say something or do something that might make you feel that exact way. So now, as you move on through your life, your day-to-day activities, you tend to get a trigger, and this random trigger might bring up those old memories from when you were a child. Bring up memories from the time that you were a kid to now. Growing into an adult and having more experiences, you held that program. You molded yourself and held that for a protection because you were afraid that maybe one day someone or something might make you feel the way you felt before. That is an old program that you must learn to let go. Because as you know, you are no longer that child that you once were. You are now this older or an adult now, able to critical think your way through these different triggers. You will be able to start dissecting exactly what is really going on within that trigger. It may not have anything to do with someone telling you that you weren't good enough. Maybe it's got to do with the wound that you had from when you were a child, when the first time it was told, how it made you feel. Sometimes we have lots of programs that are running through our mind, but the main program to really focus on is your thoughts. Your thoughts can be a really big thing. Sometimes when thoughts are actually being used, it's not really your thought. And why we say that is because your physical body is the antenna. Your physical body is what helps you understand all of your five senses here in this physical world. And not just your five senses, but you also have an emotional body. Your emotions are what makes all of the triggers correspond and happen through your life experiences. When you end up having these triggers, you get to go back and start understanding why you're feeling the way you feel. By letting go of the old programs that's not needed, by healing that feeling that you have inside that is not allowing you to move forward. Let that go. Heal it. Understand where the pain is coming from. That inner child needs your love most of all. Some of those thoughts that we say, as we all know, energy never dies, it's only recreated. So when you do have a thought, that is energy. Where do you think that energy came from? Sometimes it wasn't from what you created. Sometimes it had to do with maybe your guides talking to you. Or maybe you have an galactic guide that is helping you, just like Mark. We all have different guides, and we all work with different beings. And depending on who you work with, they might be talking to you right now. So sometimes your thoughts are not always yours. So when we talk about programs that first start, that is your thoughts. And then when you bring your thoughts in, now you use your physical body, which is the antenna, and you start learning to let go of the old programs and start bringing in the new information that comes through. Once you start focusing on your thoughts and understanding what is yours and what isn't, then the dialogue begins. Then your conversations begin. And then, before you know it, you start to understand what is really coming through. what is for you and what isn't, what resonates and what doesn't. Then you start learning and understanding what you want and don't want in your life. You start resonating into a timeline that is more suitable and right for you. Because as you practice understanding your thoughts, as you practice understanding your words, on your actions, and your emotions, then you start aligning all of that together, manifesting, creating a reality that is more suit for you. But as you start changing your reality, you will start seeing old pieces of you falling behind. And that means in many ways, such as family, friends, lots of things that you used to do, a lot of programs that was now no longer needed will start letting go. You start understanding that now you start seeing an old version of you that no longer is needed for the path that you are going. You start seeing that more things start coming into your reality. New information, new experiences, new people. Now you're able to start raising your vibration to a higher standpoint. And while you raise your frequency higher, all of the lower frequencies that you once had has to balance itself out. And sometimes the balancing doesn't happen. Sometimes it's just let go. It is gone. It is no longer there. That is the best way that we can explain the greatest way of ascension and learning your own as an individual. As a collective, things get a little bit more complex because you are no longer just dealing with your own stuff. Now you're dealing with others. And as you co-create in this world and being able to bring in all of the experience of you and others, then you guys all bring in collectively a puzzle piece. And with all the puzzle pieces combined brings one big, beautiful picture. And that is usually where everything starts really happening. And that's where everyone is going right now. Right now, individually, everybody is learning and growing as we see fit. Everybody is doing everything that they want, their life, choosing what they want in their life as of right now, such as maybe listening to this podcast, such as understanding that there's a lot more to life than what there is. But you're choosing to listen, choosing to see what's more. That is you expanding your mind. That is you opening a door, an opportunity for you to be able to raise your frequency into a higher form. With new information comes a lot more new opportunity. What would you pick to do? Would you rather let go of the old programs and start picking up new? Or just as easy, stay in the old timeline and the old system that you have right now? If it seems to be working for you, then maybe that is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Thank you. That is, wow, a wealth of information for us to hold on to for sure. For those just joining us right now, we are speaking with the galactic Zeek. He is honoring us with his presence right now. Now, Zeke, I know we've been told through lots of research and stuff like that that a lot of the alien races are creating hybrids. Now, are you guys a part of creating hybrids that are walking among us right now on this earth?
I can't speak for myself because, as for myself, that is not what my mission is. My mission is just to help others and their individual process of learning and growing and being able to set themselves into a higher vibration. That is mainly what my skill set is all about. But for others, in which I have known for a very long time, other groups and other people that are doing the same type of work that I'm doing, but in a different group and different lessons as well as a different job, some of them are doing that. As you start to learn and grow into a higher vibration, you'll start to bring in more info based on what we are all doing. There are many different forms of ETs that are out and among you. Sometime you will learn that they are all living under you, above you, in different planes of existence and different vibrations. They are all living right next to you, right above you or under you. They are living right there. Just a higher, just a different vibration and frequency. But when you are raising yourself into a higher vibration, you will start soon realizing that your reality will start bleeding into other forms of reality. There are many different layers of Earth that is happening right now. And these layers are there to protect individuals, to protect those that are on different life experiences in order to be able to get what you want without causing harm or causing a situation with someone else. So these layers are very necessary. But where we are going in vibration, little by little, those layers will be stripped from you. Those, at least, that are raising their vibration, those layers will be stripped. Those that are not raising their vibration and staying exactly where they are will still be living through their day-to-day life and still having the same form of experiences that they're having now. So to answer the question, there is a lot of things that are happening, and you will start to realize and learn that there's lots of hybrids that are among you. There's a lot of humans that are hybrids. There's a lot of different ETs that are hybrids. There's hybrids in almost every form that you can think of. Some were made and some were just created naturally that way. But those that were created are going to have a little bit more of a difficult time moving into a higher vibrational frequency, because these lessons and the life experiences that are to come once your vibration is higher will soon start becoming a little bit more difficult in order for you to understand where we're heading and going.
Thank you for that. That is, I appreciate where you're coming from on that, and it helps us understand what the different what the different races are doing as far as their missions amongst the galaxies and here on Earth. I just have just one more question, and I hope somebody that's watching this will pop in with a question. But how do your kind, your race, your people deal with what we here on Earth call death? Like, you probably seen us go through many emotions when we lose somebody close to us. What is how you guys deal with forms of death?
In where I came from, my planet, we used to celebrate death almost as for how you guys celebrate a birthday. We celebrate our deaths because we know where our spirit goes. We know that it goes back and gets recreated. We just have to be patient on when it is created. Since we are now in a higher form, a higher frequency, our dimension, we get to see exactly what's going to happen with our souls. We are already at a state of mind where we already understand when our death is coming, when we are going to be recreated, and why we are being recreated. Sometimes there's a lot of beings that are here in this dimension where we can technically live for as long as we want. We don't need a physical body. We have light bodies a lot of times. So we can live for a very, very long time in linear time into your perspective. So we tend to learn differently. We tend to see things differently. In a human perspective, you guys are living on a planet as a school to learn different forms of experience. But this is where you are all at when it comes to the level of your spirit and the life lessons that you came here to have. Not saying that it is lesser or more than, just saying that it's a different school with different lessons, just like how we have different lessons and different experiences than what a human would. So we already know when we're about to go. We celebrate it. We send love to those that are going. We usually get together. We celebrate the coming of their death. We make them comfortable. We make sure that they get to experience all of the things that they've always wanted to experience. That is what we do for our people. But I
Okay.
can't speak very well for myself. I haven't been around my own people for a very long time.
So Zeke, I do have a question coming in. So this person is asking that you guys do have a physical body to physical bodies to experience death, or I know you said you are also of light, so maybe you can touch on that a little bit more about the physical bodies of what happens.
So depending on where we are, we can have a light body or a physical body. So let's use myself as an example. There are times where, let's say, in your words, I have a higher ranking officer. They will come and tell me that there is need of my expertise in a galaxy. So I will go to this specific galaxy that they send me to. And this galaxy has a solar system that I need to go in. Lots of solar systems are very different. Some solar systems, the planets, have such a vibration where it is so dense to the fact that we need a physical body. So we make a physical body on our ship. We go to the planet and we do our work as a physical. While other planets, you can't go as a physical. So we will be a light body and we will basically higher our vibration to a high state where in a higher dimension to where we don't need a physical. So then we go through and we do our work at that solar system. Now, when it comes to death, when our energy is fading, there are a lot of times that we don't have the energy to be able to create a light body. So we get comfortable. We find a place where we can have our own celebration of releasing ourselves from the body that we have. And then we move on.
Okay, we also have a question. It says, so it is an extension of you. Are you running in multiple places at once?
Sometimes, yes. But it depends on the devices that we use for that.
Okay, they also ask, can you speak on driver fields in that regard?
We don't understand necessarily what a driver field is.
Okay. Christy, if you can like rephrase it in a way that Zeke can understand. So Zeke, when you are traveling from one area to another, is it necessarily through portals that you are using to transfer from one place to another? Or how is it that you're physically going from one area that you're being called to another?
We have devices that's sometimes capable of helping us get to one point to the other, but if it is a little further, then we do need ships for that. And lots of ships come from many different sizes and many different ways of using them. So depending on where we are going, we have to determine what ship to use. And depending on where we're going, we would need certain materials, or sometimes we don't need any material.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask this is what advice would you give humanity as we continue to evolve and to explore the cosmos?
Everything starts within. So if you want to start raising your vibration to be able to have conversations with beings, to be able to have experiences with galactic beings, in order to have an experience with your own self, being able to raise your vibration where you can speak as your higher self, you need to start working on all of the old programs that we spoke once before. All of the old programs need to be let go in order for you to start in new. That is where I would recommend to start. Once you start working within, your physical reality starts shifting and balancing everything that you worked within, and then your projection of the world starts to change as well.
Now, when you talk about different ships that are used, now have you physically been to Earth?
I have many times.
Would it have been within the last few weeks?
No. The last time I was there was roughly a year ago in your time.
Okay, you say in our time. Now, as we know, time is a man made thing because it's a way that man feels we have to structure our lives. What is it that you guys go by in your world?
We don't go by time. You all go by time because you guys are living in a linear perspective. And since you are living in a linear time or linear point of view, you have a calendar which is created for hours, minutes, seconds, and you pay attention to the sun, to the moon, your solar system, all the planets, the years as everything progresses and goes on. Everything is all created as a linear point of view for all of you humans that are living there on Earth. We don't work that way. So when I mentioned a year ago on your time, then it was roughly a year ago at this moment of when we are speaking, and the linear time at where you are now.
Okay, I have just one more question, and this is actually really good. Thank you, Chris, for asking. Would you agree when a human sees a ship, it is usually an aspect of self on that ship and that they are connecting with?
Yes. I smile because that was a very beautiful question. So when ETs allow you to see them, that is a co-creation. It is a co-creation because we don't have to allow anybody to see us if we don't want to, especially if we have the technology and devices to not allow you to. We can go in and out of different forms of dimensions, a dimension that's a higher dimension than you. We, in your perspective, we just disappear. When quite honestly, all we're doing is just raising our vibration to a frequency that our physical is no longer at that spot that you've seen us. But we are still there, just in a non physical. So then we just stay in that same exact spot, even though it might seem that we disappeared, but we haven't. We just move around differently. And soon, probably within the next 50 human years, you will all soon have the same technology.
Wow. Zeke, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and talking with us. I hope that I can speak with you again. This has been such a pleasure. Uh, May I ask to speak with Mark again?
Yes. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure, and we shall do this again. Good night to all. Thank you.
We'll just give Mark a minute to get to come back with us.
Whew. Sweaty as always. Swear, man, when I do channeling, I get like I start sweating a lot. My back gets really wet. My under my arms are like sweating, and my shirt's stuck to me. And it's crazy because before I started doing channeling, I was freezing. I had like goosebumps, and I had the blanket on me and everything, and now I'm sweaty.
Oh, no, thank you. That was truly an honor and such everything I've hoped for and more. So thank you for doing that, Mark. That's truly remarkable. Next time you are speaking with Zeek, please, I thanked him, but please make sure you thank him again. It was amazing, and I mean, there's so much more that we have to talk about, but to digest everything that he told us is exactly what you yourself, the show, Voices of Contact, Mary has been talking about, and Deb DeRoos has been talking about higher, like we're all ascending. We are all seeing this change come up through us, and it's truly amazing that Zeke really kind of put his stamp of that's exactly what's happening, and we need to be prepared for it.
Yeah, he's been very I'm not going to say strict, but very adamant on my changes. So, like, when I'm having a bad day and I'm like getting mad at somebody, for example, and I'm saying bad things like in my head and I have my thoughts going and I'm like, that asshole, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm starting to say all kinds of things, right? And I hear him come in and be like, change the thoughts. You know better.
Right.
Change the
Right.
thoughts. And he'll once in a while come in, he'll correct me. It's like a little slap on the wrist, nothing dramatic. I even hear him laughing at me at times when I'm saying shit, and he'll be giggling, or I'll see his face in my head where he'll be smiling and just doing like, you know what I mean, like giving me the I know you're mad, calm down.
I mean, I can imagine you can answer this. I know he talked about it when I first talked to him. I asked him where he was from. Christy joined us a little bit late, but can you reiterate where Zeke said he was from?
Uh, I don't remember what exactly he said, but I seen the visual of what he was showing. So, oh, that's actually a pretty cool thing I can mention. So he came from Orion, and his planet that was destroyed was on Orion,
Right.
and it was no longer there.
Okay.
When he was showing me where he was from, I guess like he came from like royalty like
Yeah.
background, very high rank, but his people were demolished, and Draco came, took everything. Like when they came, they stole all of their goods, stole all their materials, took all of their technology. They had the choice of you come with us and be our slaves, or you just die.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, Christy, after the show ends, if you want to go back and watch the very beginning, um, yeah, he explained his whole where he was from, what happened to his people, where he's currently doesn't have uh, a
He doesn't
home
have
base.
home.
He's like all over the place. He's on different missions. So wherever he is, that's his home until that mission is over. But he did describe to us where he was from, what happened to his home. But he did say Orion was his physical home until it was destroyed.
Yes.
It was truly amazing. So everybody on the side, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Mark, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for bringing Zeek. We look forward to having you both back. We are going to definitely do this again because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of messages that I had now have. I thought of questions I have to ask. So we definitely want to get Zeke back to, and you, of course, like I said,
Yeah.
you guys are both really helping us learn into our ascension and where we're going and everything that is happening to us. So yeah, it's truly amazing. So everybody on the side, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in tonight for this special edition. This first for the TPV Nation, being able to actually talk to Zeke, who through Mark I've learned a lot about, and it's going to be exciting to get to know him even more and to see as we get closer to Ascension Con, the event, as well as the Ascension Con happening as we keep hearing more and more. So, guys, thank you so much. Next week, I have Tim Shaw coming our way. The reschedule that was supposed to happen at the beginning of this month. We are going to be talking about seances. Mark, as always, I love you, my friend. You take good care of
Likewise.
yourself.
Love you too.
I can't wait. I hope you come up to Ascension Con. I would love to spend some time with you. But
We'll be there.
everybody, it's coming. Ascension Con, August 15th. Come on down. It's going to be amazing. In the meantime, and in between time, like my partner says, is always happy hauntings.